Before I start this video, I highly recommend you watch the first video because this video will not make sense if you haven't watched that part. And if you want to continue watching this, here's a little recap of what happened in that video. Previously on Unfortunate Fall of Fall Guys, Doodle went through the first 6 seasons of Fall Guys with Epic Games buying the game and the seasons getting longer and worse. Doodle ended the video by ranting at the camera for a bit and ending with a notification from his cellular device. What will he do next? Keep watching to find out more on the Unfortunate Fall of Fall Guys, Part 2. Days in season 4 through 6. If we were lucky, they would be done under 120 days. Let's see how long this season lasted, shall we? From YouTube, Fall Guys scheduled a live stream called The Big Announcement. That makes some sense, but my point still stands. This season shouldn't have lasted more than half a year for this one announcement. On May 12th, 2022, there was an announcement for a stream called The Big Announcement. A lot of people theorized that this must be free to play, and it was. This announcement didn't just announce free to play. It also announced that Fall Guys would release on Xbox and Nintendo Switch. If you bought the game before this update, you would get some skins, the Battle Pass, which now costs money. The Battle Pass now costs 10,000 Showbucks, which is the currency that is used to buy skins and emotes from the shop. Showbucks also replaced crowns. Crowns still technically exist just for crown ranks. Kudos still exist, but they are not as good. They also tease creative, which I will talk about that later. And last but not least, they release yeah, we're not back to Season 1. Think of this season as Fortnite Season 10 going into Chapter 2 Season 1. This season was, of sorts, a soft reboot of the game. Older seasons were now called Legacy Seasons. With the game now being free, this season slightly revived the game. This season came out on July 21st, 2022. This season was sports themed. This season also had 7 new rounds. We try to knock people off with massive balls that explode. Another hoop round where you have to bounce to collect the hoops. If Hexagon and Roll Off had a baby. Short Circuit Electric Boogaloo. You gotta run for your life. Parkour! A 2v2 round like Button Bashers but with volleyball. Even though the season made the game have microtransactions, by itself, this was an amazing season. This season made the game have its last ever spike of popularity. This season didn't have a mid-season update, as usual, but it did have something similar. In the middle of the season, Fall Guys added Bean Hill Zone, a Sonic-themed level where you gotta collect coins to qualify. Unlike Bean Thieves, somehow this round wasn't the regular pool of modes, which I'm honestly kinda surprised since this was a collaboration mode with Sonic. This season lasted 86 days. This season came out swinging. Will the season continue the momentum this season started? What did I expect? The season came out on September 15th, 2022. The season had a outer space theme. The season added 8 new rounds. You need to hop across space lanes to reach the end. Button Bashers, but slightly better. Hexagon, but the hexagons respawn. Hoverboard Heroes, but harder. This round is good if you don't have 5-year-old teammates. It's a race in space. Tiptoe, but less annoying. If Fall Mountain and Tiptoe had a little kid. Later in the season, they also added Bean Thieves, but spooky. This season itself was fine. The new modes were fun and interesting, but this season single-handedly made the worst choice this game could have made. This season started to vault rounds. Yes. I am serious. There were about 80 rounds in this game, and this feature took away 20 rounds at the time. Modes like Slime Scraper, Hexagon, Power Trap, and many more were removed. I slightly understand why they decided to do this, but this game isn't Fortnite. For a game like Fall Guys to succeed and keep players, there needs to be as many rounds as possible to keep players engaged. This change was a big mistake. This season lasted 68 days.
Crabs, I have terrible news. How do I put this? Oh, I've got it.
This season came out on November 22nd, 2022. This season had a Under the Sea theme in the winter for some reason. This season added the feature that allowed you to preview celebrations in your locker. This should have happened earlier in the game's history, but better late than never, right? Also, 5 new rounds. Blast Ball, but as a survival round. Another hoop round, but with slides. You gotta avoid the Kraken's tentacles from slapping you off the platforms. You gotta follow the line that leads you to a portal that eventually leads to the finish line, or jump through random portals and be lucky. Where you gotta slide down slides to the finish line. This season felt off. Maybe it's because of the new rounds just being too easy. Remember the vault feature from last season? They doubled down on this feature and removed half of the game's rounds from the game. Are they trying to kill this game? Also, the vaulted rounds for some reason got unvaulted on January 19th, 2023 for 30 minutes. And there were no problems with the game. This season lasted 169 days. Come on, man, we were just there.
4-bit.
This season came out on May 10th, 2023. This season had so many more changes than the lackluster Season 3. This season added the highly anticipated creative mode. Fall Guys also added, in total, 225 new rounds. 20 created by Mediatonic and the rest were created by the community. All in creative mode. In Season 4, they would add 3 total battle passes with 40 tiers. The season added a couple of updates to creative sprinkled throughout the season. This season lasted 98 days. Overall, creative was an amazing and fun feature. So now on to the next season. Oh.
At the edge of a universe humming a tune, or merely dreaming we were
Mediatonic announced that they would stop releasing seasons to focus on more frequent updates to creative and working on rounds. Yeah, I do not think this game is ever gonna come back. Which is a shame because I really loved this game when it was released. I used to play this game all the time and now I don't play it at all. It just sits in my Steam library staring at me. Last year, when I was writing the script, I hoped that this game could have a slight resurgence with the mobile port last year. However, when it was released, it was banned from iOS devices because it was a game owned by Epic, and also it was only in Europe. They laid off 830 employees at Mediatonic in 2023. And the most recognition Epic Games gave to the game was a small cameo in the Big Bang event and a worse version of Fall Guys in Fortnite UEFN, which also died, ironically. The only stuff that gets added to this game is battle passes, skins, and maybe stuff to creative, and maybe a new way to play the already existing maps if we're lucky. This game has as many players as my most popular video on this channel, and I don't even have 100 subscribers. That is just sad. I understand that it's just Steam charts, but even if I add up all the players playing the game, it would still be close. Man, this game was truly something special. It was something different, a game with an interesting premise based off of a British game show. This game died due to Epic Games' incompetence with any game that isn't Fortnite. Even if you have been here from the start, still play this game, we can all agree that this game's fall was truly unfortunate. Fall Guys, we never deserved you. Fall Guys, you never deserved us. Goodbye. Hopefully the next video doesn't take 2 months to make.